We allege that the defendant repeatedly shot and killed his brother while he was outside of the side of his home, and then moved to murder the rest of the family inside the home. There are 4 fatalities that were found to be at the home. It's 2 adults and 2 children.
An adult male located outside in the front yard. 3 bodies, a woman and 2 children found dead and burned inside the home. The male victim outside, dead of a gunshot wound. Not self-inflicted, according to sources quoted in published reports. With a lot of questions that Monmouth County Prosecutor Chris Gramiccioni said investigators are working hard to answer.
We have no reason to believe that the community is in any danger at this point in time.
4 dead at the home of 50-year-old tech CEO Keith Caneiro during a fire at the family's estate. But adding to the mystery, hours earlier, another fire at Keith Caneiro's brother's home in Ocean. Paul Caneiro, co-owning the tech company and another business with brother Keith.
We allege that Jennifer was shot and stabbed, and the 2 Caneiro children were repeatedly stabbed by knife.
Prosecutors say then Paul Caneiro set fire to the basement of his brother Keith's Colts Neck mansion to try and conceal his crimes. Caneiro was already being held by authorities, accused of lighting his own home on fire the same day last week with his wife and daughter inside. Prosecutors now believe the second fire was part of a cover-up.
That fire was effectively a ruse designed to make it appear as if the overall Caneiro family was somehow targeted.
A financial crimes investigation is also open as well, as prosecutors are pursuing the theory that all of this stemmed from the brothers' joint tech and pest control business ventures in Asbury Park.
This one is the most brutal case that I've seen in my experience here. And I know that the entire team of investigators and people involved in working on this case, the fire officials, that they've struggled with this too.
Absolutely shocking case out of New Jersey. And joining us now, legal journalist and a professor of media law at Rowan University, Professor Candace Kelly, joining us tonight by phone. Candace, great to have you back on the program. Always great to speak with you. I'm from Jersey, like you're from Jersey. I hear these facts, and I just feel like the defense is going to say, you know what? The mob was after us. You know, we made some business deals with some mobsters. We didn't pay them. They came after me. They came after my brother.
Absolutely. I think that that's the best way that they can go. I mean, if you look at the facts that are before us, we've got someone who an eyewitness said was in the area at the time of the crime. We've got a brother who said, hey, you know what, I don't want to do business with my brother anymore. And you have so many things that are against him in this case. I can't imagine that any other type of reasonable doubt can be placed but that. Let's say that there were financial issues. Let's say that we borrowed money from someone that we shouldn't have been borrowing it from, knowing it would be a risk. And let's say this is what happened. And the fact that he's pleading not guilty, it seems like he has some type of defense set up. And if you look at all the facts and how they're lined up, I don't see any other way that they can go. Kind of a typical defense in New Jersey, talking about New Jersey and the mob is just playing into the tropes that we know about.
Absolutely. And, you know, I laugh about it, but I know those jurors. And you know what? It's a plausible explanation, because if I'm the prosecutor, I'm going to argue, if they make that argument, that, hey, that's what he's trying to make it look like, folks. You know, he sets his own place on fire to make it look like that, and he's covering his own tracks. Don't fall for it, ladies and gentlemen. Don't fall for it. So this is one that's going to, I mean, you talk about a horrific case. You mean taking out your brother and his entire family, including his kids?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, talk about sibling rivalry. Here you have someone that, I mean, it's bad enough that he killed his brother and the kids, but then he said, let me go to my own family and see what I can do there to make it this big cover-up. I mean, if you talk about someone snapping, this is the perfect case where someone absolutely snapped. And over what? Over money. And you always follow the money. And when we follow the money trail here, as the prosecutors have said, they have evidence enough that they believe will, in fact, convict him. And when they do the financial examination, they do the financials of all of this, they're going to see exactly what was falling apart in his life and what led him to do this. But it really is just such a troubling situation. No one wants to have it in their town. But if you drive down to Colts Neck, New Jersey, I'm not sure if you've been there recently, you're talking about a beautiful town where you're going to see open fields and horses and a beach that's a stone's throw away. And here you have this horrific crime, none like they've ever seen before. And the people who I've spoken to are just devastated that they are being put on the map because of this case. You know, another issue that comes up is that I think that the defense might try to change the venue. They might try to put in the paperwork for that. I think it will fail, and that there are a lot of strict rules that go along with trying to change the venue to try to get perhaps a fairer trial because of the media attention. There's not a lot that the defense can do here, but they are going to try and blame it on the mob.
Absolutely. I think they're going to try to move it to Hudson County. Candace Kelly, always great to see you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.